Greetings and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our campaign of Bookhounds of London, a setting for Trail of Cthulhu by Pelgrane Press. I'm very excited as we're now getting into actual playing our characters. We're going to go around and say hi and see who we are and who we're playing. And we are starting once again today with Celeste. Hello.
Hi there, I'm Celeste. I still need to cobble together a new plug, and I'm in the middle of a blizzard, so yeah, hey, good time for it, I guess. I'm gonna be playing Phineas Webb, using he, him pronouns. He is the bookseller. He is the owner of Webb and Company Booksellers, and we're gonna see if he can survive all of this.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. But now we're going to head over to Hollow. Hello.
Hello, I'm Hollow. I am going to be playing Matthias Dawn, the antiquarian of sorts. A bit of a Lothario, unfortunately. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'll be fine. We'll all be fine.
Yes, all will be fine. And now we're going to head over to Danielle. Hello.
Hi, y'all. I'm Danielle. I'm a cosplayer and sometimes streaming gamer. I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character, Evie DeVere, tossed out of her house nobility, who now works in a bookshop as the occultist.
Excellent. Excellent. And now we will head over to Lynn. Hello.
Hey, I'm Lynn, Golem Art, she, they, and tonight I'm playing Lillian Sterling, she, her. The catalog agent, which is between you and me, is just a fancy way of saying mercenary.
Excellent, excellent. I am playing Kenneth Finlay, who acquires books and stuff. Hunts books, goes out hunting books, and does other things, as enumerated by the fact that he is using the criminal profession. So
never ask too many questions about how you got those books.
Don't ask too much. No, best not to ask. People sometimes, they're happy to give you things. You may see us use safety tools from time to time, like we do with the other games on this channel. We're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else. Hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back it up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may make references to abuse of power, asphyxiation, betrayal, body horror, boiling fluids, cannibalism, chemicals, classicism, cults, darkness, drowning, drugs, eldritch horror, explosions, exposure to harsh weather or hard vacuum, fire, gaslighting, glass, gore, greed, harsh light, heights, hostility, imperialism, insects, loud noises, mental illness, murder, mutation, nightmare imagery, poverty, the demonic, theft, vampirism, vehicular accidents, and war imagery. It may also have the potential for PvP action depending on the player's choices. If you would like to see the list and you're watching live on Twitch, you can type in the command !bookcw, and that will display. It's also going to show up periodically on rotation, and so it will pop there up there in the chat. Finally, just as a reminder, we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. But now, without further ado, I shall hand things over to our keeper, Pope. Hello.
Hello. It is joyous to be here, Bookhounds, as I get to be your keeper this evening. Today is a very good day to start. It's 1931, Valentine's Day, 1931. You know what was released today? Certain film about a very lonely Eastern European man who may or may not have had a trip to London planned. In fact, that particular film, while it was released domestically this day, there's rumors that some of you may know that there is a rogue screening of it happening in one of the basements around town. So, with that, let's go around and find out where everyone is this fine day. And I want, as you right before you let us know, since it is Valentine's Day and it's been established that this bookstore celebrates the holidays in a very unique fashion, give me one element of the store's decorations for the holiday. So, Phineas, you're the owner. Why don't you start?
So I think Phineas tries sometimes to keep some of the decorations for some of the holidays a little more low key. So there is a little bit of like I'm trying to think of like the material that it would be, but like I'm thinking of like those pink and red like chains. I think they're just paper chains with the little loops, kind of like strung up a little bit. And he he's just at the store. Like he's making sure the stock is taken, balancing the accounts, just like making sure that the store is minded and taken care of. He his wife is deceased, so he did like a little like something in her memory, probably visited her grave, left a flower or something like that. But he doesn't really have much to do today aside from just mind the store, so he's treating it like any other day.
All right. Matthias, my good man, where can we find you, and what other element of decoration for the store would you like to add? Mr. Dorn.
Oh, well, let's see here. I think that he tried his best to sneak in a little tableau of soldiers being married by a man.
Okay. Are these little tin soldiers?
Yeah.
As for the priest, is that also like a tiny like tin figure, or
Yeah.
did you okay.
Like a little tiny tin figure, like, oh, here, nobody's looking.
All right, very interesting window display. So you're sneaking in somewhere in, I'm guessing, the bowels of the shop.
Take that, you moralists.
Speaking of morals, Kenneth, where do we find you this fine day?
Well, I guess it's a question of whether or not I have to be at work or not, or if he's taken an opportunity to run across the street, which is entirely possible. He's probably it being the day that it is. He's probably trying to make plans with his best mate with benefits, Nev, who works at the art gallery across the street. So it's wherever she is.
Tell me, is Nev really into film?
I think that I think that she's not like it's not like her favorite thing, but it's also not. It's something that she likes enough. She likes the. I think she likes the visual elements of film. It's probably why she ended up doing work in an art gallery. So it's she's. I think maybe she was more interested in it when before sound, and because she's not really into radio that much. But so she's into the visual aspects, I think, of film more than anything else.
Okay, so I like this idea that we can see like Kenneth just like exiting the store as we're panning from that nice little tableau of the soldiers being married. Kenneth exiting the store, crossing Fleet Street, over to the pie shop on the corner to meet with your not paramour.
Yes.
So what give me one other element of decoration on the store for today's festivities.
So someone, probably one of our glorious patrons, probably donated a series of like five little exquisitely carved chocolate Cupid statuettes. That are, they're only gonna last so long. So, but we've gotten them on display for now. I said 5. Right now there are 4.
Okay.
Because Kenneth has the other one in his pocket because he's going to give it to Nev.
How conspicuously is it missing?
Well, let me check something. I have a filch of 5.
Okay. Would you like to roll said filch?
I can, if you wish.
I do.
All right, let's do that. It's a D6, right? I roll a D6 and add 5. Is that how this works, or am I?
For the love of money, I believe so. Yes.
Okay, and then I have to decide if I want to wait. So like I have to decide ahead of time if I want to spend any of that on this roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how this works. I'm going to go ahead and spend a one of my 5 on this roll.
Okay.
Because I feel as though this is important. So it's going to be. So I'm trying to remember again how this works. It's going to be a D6 plus 5. Is that now how that works, or am I? Or am I forgetting?
This is a simple test. You roll your die. I get to set the difficulty.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll roll the die. Sorry, go ahead.
And you want to roll higher than the difficulty.
Understood.
So you're spending 1, and you roll the d6, and we see how things went.
Okay, that's a total of 9.
Okay. So, you managed to in encasing these statues, figuring out, okay, that's not one of the ones of the direct display. That one's like off on like the corner of the checkout desk. and it's just like, and pocket. While like I can see the others being in the window display, but slightly shaded. And question, Phineas, is there a raffle going on to win those little cupids?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. As that has been set up, and we see this purloined, loving chocolate being delivered across the street. Let's go with the higher level of questionable morals. Lillian, where can we find you, and what other holiday display is ongoing at the store?
She's coming in through the front door. She's pretty closed mouth. You know, who knows what she's up to, especially on a day like this. But she comes in, and the first thing she sees is the deer. But the deer has wings, a quiver, and a heart-shaped arrow in its mouth, holding it in its mouth. And she just rolls her eyes at it.
It's nice to know that Thurston is still getting in on the act. As I'm now seeing, like, okay, so Kenneth is passing Lillian as she's coming in. So that's an interesting thing. We might rewind here in a moment to see if these two have anything to say to one another. But before we get to that exchange, to round out our high moral characters, Evie, where do we find you on this fine day, and what other accoutrement to today's festivities is festooning the store?
So I think, well, we'll deal with the accoutrement first. I think there is, since we are well known for our taxidermy displays, there is a small army of woodland critter taxidermies in the display window of the shop, and they have all been given like the big kind of crushed velvet ribbons with bows around them, and they've been strategically positioned in such a way that they look like they're holding hands in pairs. And like there's some varied levels, like some have been propped up on some books that are hidden under a tablecloth. So, it's got some visual interest going on in the different heights of the animals. Evie herself, is it morning? I didn't ask.
I want to say it's like 11.
Okay.
It's like that early afternoon where some people are taking a lunch.
Okay.
But most folks haven't taken lunch just yet.
Got it. Okay. In that case, I think Evie is coming in. She's coming in from brunch. She was at the temple this morning, and she has clearly stopped somewhere on her way in because she's carrying a very large heart-shaped chocolate box with a large bow on it. And this is for her current paramour for the evening. And she's mentally running through what she wants to do in the evening for Valentine's Day because she's not made any plans other than having now purchased this very large box of chocolates. And will spend now the rest of the day scrambling to come up with some other ideas. And that is the mood that she is in as she too is coming in, probably a little bit behind Lillian.
Okay, so I can just I like the sort of like camera thing where we're really like first establishing all these shots in order, and I just love the idea of almost this like a dragon-esque, say like Yakuza-esque, like establishment shot, like name of individual, what is their specialty, employ, and what have they done so far today or are planning to do. And we get each of these establishing shots as in the reset, we kind of cut to the displays and like focus in somehow hyper realistically on each of these incredibly kitschy elements. And so we have had our establishment shot of Evie, and then let us cut to the moment where Kenneth and Lillian are passing one another. I want to know what happens here.
Afternoon to you. Kenneth is planning to just sort of play it off as just like, just walking this direction.
Plans for the evening?
Maybe. Perhaps we're. I think that Nave and I are possibly going to go see the Dracula. Possibly.
How romantic.
Well, yeah, the book's all right, I think. It's been a while. But, I figured, I may as well. Just,
Yes, partaking of the whole, like, sucking the blood from the neck thing. Feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, do you think she might not like that?
Well, I mean, guess you'll find out. You have a better idea of what her tastes are.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I should probably be looking at the architecture the whole time.
I mean, a trip to the movies is always, like, occasion.
sort of nods. Yeah.
I think she'll kind of bump you on the arm a little bit. It's like, you could have at least taken one of the mice.
Just sort of looking like it is sort of. He'll give this sort of blank look for a second and just be like, "No, the mice aren't that tasty, are they?" And he'll just sort of spin out the door.
So, Lillian, you go in. I can even like hear the place, like the little ringer on the door going off as you come in with like the hardwood floors in this place. And again, the smell of old books. It's a very distinctive smell.
Mm-hmm.
Then Evie, like a few beats after you come in, seeing Kenneth having like spoke with Lillian for a short second and then crossing the street. Obviously, if you follow him with your eyes, you can see his not paramour sitting there outside the pie shop at one of the 3 tables that the place has. Yeah.
Yeah, Evie will give kind of like a light wave. Like not they don't get close enough to actually have a conversation, but if she catches his eye, she'll wave as she's on her way in.
Yes, you see that appearance as you catch his eye.
Just awkwardly.
And head in. So there's that jangle, and then another one, following up with both Evie, you, Lillian, there, Phineas probably sitting behind the main counter, and then probably some noise from further in this labyrinthine place is the distinctive footsteps of a Mr. Dorn. So you all get to convene, but just before you can actually like all talk to one another, there is another ring from the door. Julian has come in, and he seems slightly perturbed, and just sort of like acknowledges Lillian, catches like what you're carrying, Evie, but immediately like goes up to Phineas. Okay, I have a number of things that I need to offload, and that simultaneously I need to quickly divest you of every single book you have on the vampiric before the craze hits.
Understandable. Let's see what we have then, shall we?
Great. Also, I don't know if any of you need tickets to the show this evening.
That would be lovely.
I have 4 of these things. People just keep giving them to me like they're expecting that this is something that I would enjoy.
Could I claim 2 of them? Would you mind?
Certainly, please take them off me.
Thank you ever so much. And she will take them and like tuck them in the ribbon on the chocolate box. And she has this very self-satisfied look, like, aha, I have put together date night.
I couldn't perchance unload these other 2 on you, Lynn, or you, Phineas. Or should I wait until Mr. Dorn decides whether or not he's actually going to grace us with his presence, and then pass it off to him so he can neck with whomever he is taking out this evening?
Well, I apologize. I am occupied tonight, but I'm pretty sure any 2 of my compatriots here would love to have them.
Phineas?
I suppose I could hang on to them in case Matthias decides he wants them, and if not, perhaps one of my other customers might enjoy them.
Thank you.
Enjoying something, is that what you said?
Yes, Mr. Dorn. I have tickets for tonight's showing of Dracula.
Oh, where is that happening?
Surprisingly enough, not far from here. It's in the basement of the pie shop.
Oh, I'm not kicked out of there. I love it.
Apparently, the owner has friends across the pond who have gotten them a not quite legal copy of the film.
You know, I love that. It just actually makes it better somehow.
Knowing
A
you,
little extra excitement.
of course, by all means, take them.
You know, it seems like it's hurting you, burning you to even hold them. I'll save you. How about that?
Thank you so much. Now, I need to talk more about other forms of saving me by getting everything on the vampiric that you have before people get notions.
I'm gonna start just flipping through the catalog.
Yes, I also, considering the notions, anything also on witch hunting. I have a feeling that people are going to get, again, very particular notions.
Those do seem like they would dovetail.
Yes, I am certain that someone is going to try and fancy themselves a Van Helsing or worse yet, a Dracula, and try and make themselves one or the other.
Ooh, you're right. I should make a list of my exes and ensure that I am not on any witch hunting lists.
I'm certain your fortitude is greater than any bit of garlic or stake of holly that they may be able to fashion.
Never can be too sure. Never can be too sure.
Ah, I see one of your exes may actually have a firearm. Delightful.
Yeah, I'm just starting to compile a list at this point. Like,
Then Evie will look over Phineas's shoulder at the list and like just quietly whisper, "Would you like me to go start pulling things off the shelves?"
I would appreciate it. Thank you. You're a dear.
Of course. And she'll memorize like the first 5 titles on the list and go start hunting them down.
On top of the Majesty's notes, I do have something to trade, as he procures a book from his coat. This is a particularly loathsome thing that I would most definitely like to get rid of, as it keeps having a nasty habit of finding its way back into my clutches.
Hmm.
I can tell you already, though, Lillian, I'm certain you can back me up on this. The binding is clearly anthropodermic, and its author is of that loathsome French sort from the 18th century.
Hmm.
Lillian, if you would be so kind as to back me up, as he just sort of like lays the book on the counter.
And I'll kind of just give it a cursory, just kind of like flip back, kind of like feel the binding, just kind of like examine it, flip through the things, flip through the pages, check.
The leather has a very distinctive feeling, which, again, with your experience and things that you have procured, yes, he's right. That is human skin
Mm.
that has been tanned and used as the outer cover's binding. Flipping through just cursory, it definitely looks like the French of the time period, and the paper in particular looks of the appropriate age, with just the right amount of foxing on the pages, the yellow brownish speckling that happens over the course of a book aging. So it looks legit.
Mhm.
Are you looking for a particular author or any of perhaps this book's origin, or a plate in it as you're rifling through?
Yeah, I would actually like to see if I can figure out more about its origin on there.
Um, you don't have a proper title. It's like as though the page in it just doesn't appear.
Mhm.
There is no wording on the binding of the book whatsoever. Bit odd.
Mm.
You flip all the way to the back, and past a few of the blank pages, there is a tipped in page. So this is pages that are added to the book after binding.
Mhm.
And it is a plate. Plate is an illustration that has no writing or page on the other side.
Mhm.
So it is a tipped in plate. A very plain, curious thing. Doesn't look like it's been typeset or wood cut or anything, but this looks like a hand inked illustration.
Mm.
And in exquisite Gothic style lettering, very unusual, so most likely later
Mhm.
put in. And the foxing is vastly different. So this was an insert someone put in later.
Mhm.
Confessions of an infernal machinist, written by Lady Toufont, about the legacy of the Le Marchands.
And that's the edition of
that
the
that is what is tipped in, and then the illustration on top of this almost like false inserted title
Hmm.
has a like a cavalcade of tiny devils
Hmm.
parading around a sphere that is bejeweled.
Hmm. No, that's curious. I want to see if just kind of like lightly flipping through the rest of the volume, the connection between the edition and the book proper, the rest of the volume.
It takes you a while flipping through the book before you can even.
Oh, this is like yeah. She'll nod at him, just kind of like just casually, kind of like like not intensely, just kind of like looking at it, yeah, praising it in a way.
I wouldn't read too closely. That thing is particularly nasty.
Mm.
Has a way of getting its hooks on someone, and then they go into
Oh.
particularly naughty places.
Well, nothing with a little bit of scanning of it. Nothing too. Never want to get too deep into it. So,
Especially that one, but it's definitely worth a few pennies.
oh, you seem
Considering its age and the fact that I think there's only 3 copies, but I'm not entirely certain.
well. You seem to be brimming at the bit with story about this thing, and story's a good seasoning for letting it find a new home. So, I mean, you said it was loathsome. I mean, the binding and whatnot being what the subject and all that being doesn't seem to be any more loathsome than a bunch of other things. So why was that the first word that you used for this thing other than
Considering that it involves the ritualistic slaughter of a number of ladies of the night in order to whet the.
I mean, that could be any number of the books in here, but what makes it loathsome? And what was that bit about it coming back to you? What was that about?
It's essentially an instruction manual of being able to make a gateway for the damned. If you
Yeah, yes. But why do you not like it?
One, because I'm not necessarily certain of its validity.
Mm.
That in the right or wrong hands, someone might actually try the damn thing. And 2, it has a particularly nasty habit of anyone who actually bothers to read that thing or lose it seems to find its way back in their hands, or worse yet, underneath their pillow for some reason. I do not disbelieve in the supernatural, but I am a skeptic of most things that people claim to be. This may not be supernatural, but it is not natural.
But did you read it?
Only a very few pages, enough to get nightmares for 2 months.
Mm. I mean, a
If
strong
you're
drink could do that, but
no, if you're looking for Le Marchand's name, it is barely used. But it is his name.
Mm. And she'll look at the rest. I mean, it is what it is. It's doesn't have any hallmarks of forgery, and having a murky history and ability can cut it into its value. But it could be a display piece. Who knows?
Honestly, I would just partake of it, hide it in your labyrinth, and eventually the right or wrong person will find it and pay you all a pretty sum.
Pretty sum is the best part of it. Whatever happens to their soul doesn't necessarily matter to me. I mean, what about you? Does it?
I just want the damn thing gone.
And what are you asking for?
This probably trade for all of the lesser books that I am asking for that handle most of the things that have been printed within the last, say, 60 years of both speculative fiction and less than reputable histories or mythologies that have happened that you have in your collection. As for the actual valuable stuff, no, that will not pay for it, and I am willing to pay for those. But considering I'm trying to get rid of this thing, I am not going to try and charge you all its actual worth, because heaven knows that might actually send me to hell.
This is all sounding good to it's not interestingly, and she likes the anything that kind of is exciting over the dryness of having trade tomes, like this sort of thing is interesting, but she has used this in the past, something like this, to kind of like sweeten the assail, with talk of supernatural and curses and all this like unknown origin and stuff like that. So I think can I see like how much of this is real, at least from him?
Getting a read off of Julian,
Yes.
you can try. He is very hard to read.
Yeah.
Mr. Dorn can already tell you he's very hard to read.
Yes, well.
But go ahead. Let's see here. Of the things that you have.
That is just honesty.
Well, a liar tends to know a liar, so if you want to roll your conceal, see if he's actually hiding anything more, I could let you use that.
Okay, how does this work? Like, as far I know it's a D6, but do you like
I said the difficulty is between 2 and 8.
Okay.
You can expend your rating, a dot from your rating to get that as a bonus to the roll.
Okay. And how often do they
Refresh?
Yeah, refresh.
Considering what I'm going to be putting you all through later, every session.
Okay. You know what? Sure, why not? This is I'll say 4. I'll spend 4. I want to.
Okay.
I mean, he's offering a lot of books, or the request for a lot of books is there, and
fair enough.
I may not be able to back it up with the academic aspect, but I can definitely tell if someone's trying to bullshit us.
Fair enough. Let's see how you do.
Or would that be like, yeah, okay, so that is D6. Where are you?
You'll get it. Yeah. He is a hard read. One, you can tell that everything he's telling you is the truth. However, he is definitely hiding a number of other things about this book that he does not want to divulge.
With that, how badly does if that has anything, like how badly does he want to get rid of this book?
Oh, he really wants to get rid of it, and he thinks his best chance is by getting it not necessarily into your store, but a store.
Mm.
So, I mean, you could like try and work him, but you also know in working him from just your history with this man, you get 1 over on him, he will get 3 over on you later.
Or instead of getting over it, we can take this off your hands and consider it like a favor.
The favor is not in charging the price. The favor is not in charging you all the real price. Again, I just want for this the mostly dregs of modern writing that you have in your collection for this, as opposed to anything of actual worth. A favor would be you taking this and finding a way to actually destroy it.
I do like the way you sell that. What do you think? This is your store. Do you want some cursed infernal tome in here?
Well, considering some of the cursed infernal people who come in here, let alone the wealthy, I think you would be fond of sending one of those trust fund children that peruse some of your store, damning themselves for all eternity. Painfully.
I mean, that's not my... It's the profit that comes from it. But what do you two think? What does everyone here think about this?
Like Evie comes around the corner of a stack carrying the other books that she went to go get and says, well, I know who I'd give it to already, and sets the stack of books down.
I wouldn't give it to your brother, Evie. He would misread it.
Yes, I know, darling, that's the point.
Somehow I would think he would, if he got his hands on it, he'd end up just speaking Greek for 2 months and then, at best getting some nasty runs.
Well, that would serve him right.
Mr. Dawn, you are curiously quiet at this moment, especially with Lillian asking you a question.
Well, I'm just waiting for the eventual transaction to happen so I can have a read. That's all.
You want to read this thing?
Well, I mean, you've talked it up so lovingly, it's like you know it, Julian. I want to know it the way you do.
I think Evie gives Matthias a wink, like behind Julian's back. Is the other person here who is deeply inclined to read the book?
I just want to know it the way you do. I don't want to feel left out.
There are some clubs, Mr. Dawn, one does not want to be a part of.
That's a lie. Do not lie to me like that.
Remind me, I need to introduce you to my ex.
Oh, please do.
I'd expect no less from our resident Epicurean.
And as for you, good Phineas, does this scare you, upset you, or do we have a deal?
It's just business.
Excellent. Now, Evie, if you wouldn't mind, let me see what you actually have.
He slides the stack a little bit closer to Julian.
naughty. Naughty. I should probably hold on to that one. Very naughty. Calm. Boring. Drivel. Fancy. Oh. I didn't figure you'd have this, let alone actually know that it was actually worth something. All right. Well, it is the day of love, so I might as well actually pay for what all it's worth. Go ahead, Phineas, name your price for these.
Insert
going-
number here.
I am not in the mood to haggle today. You give a rather, again, for all of these books, it's a rather sizable price to which, like, he does not bulk whatsoever. From within his vest pocket, he produces a small stack of pound notes, which again, this time, most everything is done in hard currency. This being soft, and he goes right to it, grabs the pen, and starts signing his name to the back of each of these. As is his habit, because anyone who's actually taking a note, considering how vibrant counterfeiting is in this day and age, one is just sort of prone to do so if you are using paper currency. But yes, that should pay for everything except for maybe the gas in the van for the next month. As he slides the pound notes over. Delightful. I do not need any bags. I will just carry these out. Thank you all, and
Well, enjoy all
don't
the
get any smudges on the book,
well,
Mr. Dawn.
well, enjoy the other books, and I'm glad that we could take a load off your spirit, so to speak.
I'm not going to smudge the book. Lupercalia is tomorrow.
Give her the tickets, Julian.
Try not to let the uneducated masses ruin your all's evening or future evenings. As he sort of not quite storms out, but just like trances out.
Always a pleasure, Julian.
Door closes behind him. Let's cut to the lovebirds.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Well, it was nice that you could actually, come and see me before, running away on some errand.
Yeah, I just had I got priorities. Yeah, and he takes a this handkerchief into which he carefully folded the thing out of his pocket, and he says, I got a thing for you. And he will set it down and allow her to unwrap the handkerchief from it.
Oh, that's lovely. Looks like one of the ones from your shop.
I know. It's it's just like it's uncanny, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's very sweet. I managed to nab us some tickets for the show tonight from the boss.
Oh, that's brilliant. Have you read the book?
No, it's far too dry for me.
Oh, I know it's a lot of letter writing back and forth, so it's not it's not exactly the most scintillating of.
Also, I mean, it was written by a syphilitic.
True, true, but it's someone who knows suffering. It's always there is always something you can sort of grab from in there and put it on the page. It's been a long time since I read the book anyway, but I figure this might be a thing. It might be damn sight more. I mean, they're actually calling it Dracula this time. Might be a damn sight more accurate.
Well, I heard there was some sort of legal battle about the earlier ones.
Oh, was there?
Something about an estate thing.
Oh. Well, did the real Draculas complain? They come down in their hearse, try to get to the legal office, try to sue the pants off that German fella.
Don't know about any Draculas, but the Stoker family seems to be very keen on protecting their property.
Well, I suppose everyone's got to protect their turf. Aye. You got anything cool new coming in here? How do you like you?
Well, we do have a number of German pieces that just came in. Something a little bit more avant-garde. Boss is seen with private interests first before displaying them, considering just how risque they look.
Oh. Well. I suppose we and he sort of will glance over his shoulder across the street to make sure that the building's not on fire or anything.
You quickly glance at the shop, and through one of the windows upstairs, you see the shape of a woman. And then, for the first time, your entire time working at the store, you see a shape of a man come up behind her. And then you blink, and they're gone.
All right, that's unusual. Yeah, darling, I was telling you about the lady in the window.
Oh, yes, your little ghost friend.
Yeah, there's she's got a fella behind her.
Well, it
She
is the
did.
holiday. I mean, one should always have somebody on the holiday.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to know that after folks die, they can still see each other.
And we're going to cut to immediately over to the store. Phineas, you get a call. It's from Scotland Yard. They would like you to put Evie on the phone.
Oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. Phineas, he goes through a small face journey. Concern, confusion, further concern, and then more confusion, looks at Evie.
He looks back equally confused.
It's just
Evie has no idea. It's for me.
It's Scotland Yard.
What? Evie will take the phone and say, "Hello."
Hi, is this Ms. DeVere?
Speaking.
Hi, this is Inspector Kemp.
Inspector
Scotland.
Kemp.
Yeah, Scotland Yard. I'm sorry to say, Miss, but apparently your father has been reported missing.
Really?
Yes. We know that you were estranged based on testimony of your brother, but I was just wondering when was the last time you spoke with him.
Well, I haven't spoken to my father in, oh goodness, 6 years now?
All right. I'm guessing it wasn't on the best terms.
No, we had quite the argument, and well, we've never made up over it, and we can both be quite stubborn when we want to be.
If you hear anything, please let us know, and likewise, I will do the same.
Is there anything you can share about the circumstances of the disappearance?
Yeah. Not much. There was some bad weather just a few nights ago, and apparently, your brother came by days later and found the place lightly tossed, like he was in a hurry. And then no one's seen hide nor hair of him in over a week.
Out of character, does that bear any resemblance to the night her mother disappeared?
It was a stormy night.
Yeah? Okay.
Quite.
Okay, so Evie's feeling slightly justified at the moment, but we'll try not to let that bleed into her voice. Thank you, Inspector, for sharing the details. If anything comes up or I hear anything or I see him, I'll be sure to let you know.
Yeah, please do. Again, we can't really necessarily afford a full-on manhunt for him, but we've got the boys looking for him, and everyone's keeping an eye out. But at the same time, usually when these cases happen, I'm not going to lie to you, Miss. Usually when they're gone for good. I already spoke with your brother, but I would suggest if you don't hear from me in 2 more days, you start getting his affairs in order.
Thank you, Inspector. Again, appreciate your candor.
In these times, candor is all we have, Miss.
I couldn't agree more. And you'll phone again if you find anything out.
Either here or to where you're staying, but given the time, I figure it'd be at work.
Appreciate it. And yeah, Evie will hand the phone back to Phineas to put.
Is everything all right, dear?
Well, that depends upon your definition of all right. For my definitions of all right, yes.
Very well then.
My father's gone missing, but, well, as I'm sure you heard my side of the conversation, we haven't spoken in 6 years, so the degree to which I care is minimal at best.
Expecting any sort of inheritance with that, or that far
Well,
gone?
I'm pretty certain he wrote me out of the will. But within 2 days, if we've not heard anything, I suppose we'll find out.
And it's at that moment, that precise moment, where the weather turns on the lovebirds. As just suddenly, out of nowhere, it was a pleasant day. Over the course of that phone conversation, the clouds got very dark and the heavens have opened with a torrential downpour.
Are we outside or outside the
Yes.
place? Okay.
You are.
We're like-
There's like 3 outside tables, and you typically sit at like the one that's at the peak of the corner.
So the I will just briefly think for a second, because it may have taken a second for the hamster wheel in Kenneth's head to catch up. Did the figure, the male looking figure behind the silhouette of the woman, did it look like it was menacing being menacing towards her or something along those lines?
You couldn't quite tell.
Couldn't quite tell. Okay. All right. And it's like, because part of him is thinking, maybe I should tell them. Maybe I should tell them about that. But I guess his primary concern would be to, helping Nev get inside. Because rain. Not that that's an unusual thing here. But
but with how quickly it's turned, and not just how quick, but how heavy the rain is.
The gods have started. Well, it looks like the gods have started a pissing match. They just sort of will basically help her get inside.
It's one of the pissing match. It's downpour.
Yeah. And it'll be one of those things like, I should probably, I'd like to wait a second, I'd like to take a look, and as we're kind of going inside, to be like, I'd like to take a look at some of those German pieces, but I don't know if with all that, there are probably going to be people running in the bookstore. They're probably going to want me in a minute.
I can have you go in. I'm not interested in them, but they're all in the same room.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I actually can't hear you. I couldn't hear you quite that well. It was a little.
She says, It's fine. They're all in the same room, as long as you're not walking off with anything. I can let you in. I'm not interested in looking at them.
No. Oh no! Would I just walk off with something unsolicited? He's just sort of smiling broadly, knowing full well that she knows. and he'll follow her in.
Yeah. She sets her things down, points you to down the hall, which it's this surprisingly narrow hallway that then ends in sort of what they refer to as a preview room, where they'll have pre-hung, but it won't be necessarily unless the artist has provided frames. They'll just be the canvases hung up for folks to view before they're framed. So you go in, and she said salacious. These are more than salacious. They are sexual and violent.
Ooh.
Like deeply so. Mixtures of like the overall like color palette is very, very like dark, deep reds, burnt browns, etc. Except for the contrast of the human body in agony or ecstasy, depending on how you view them, done with surprisingly realistic detail.
I feel as though Kenneth might be slightly taken aback. But is Nev in the room with him?
No.
Oh, she didn't come in the room. Okay, because
she pointedly was not interested.
Okay, because he was thinking for a second that it's like, oh, we'll go look at the dirty paintings, but now that he's just sort of as the glances around, he's like, oh, ugh. And
some of them have hooks in them. It's brutal.
and it's funny because he's not a stranger to violence.
No.
Or you know the whole, you know, or the whole thing with, you know, people being pierced by things and that kind of thing. But just seeing it done in this way and combined with the with the sexual aspect, which is I can't, is the where is the meter here? I need to know as far as
your meter is bordering on, am I going to lose sanity? But not quite.
Okay.
It's like right at that edge of
All right.
revulsion, but also it's where revulsion meets horror. And horror, by that I don't mean terror.
Yeah. And I also just want to,
you can't pull away for some reason.
but I also just want to clarify, we're not, it doesn't go into abuse necessarily. We're just talking about the, okay. We're just talking about
it's more like torture or just full on like some sort of like strange ecstasy.
Okay, I got you. So this sort of like this could be consensual, basically, is what what I'm seeing here. Okay. All right, just checking. So yeah, it just basically he sort of stands back, looks at it, he's like, well, right. Well, there's something you don't see every day. And he's just going to, after sort of look at each one real quick, and then kind of just turn around and just walk back out very kind of stiffly a little bit. And
it's interesting. There's one of the paintings he didn't really look at. It was behind you. But as you turn to walk out, it looks very much like the bookshop. And it looks like Evie's in the top window screaming as all of the sort of regular like Christmas, or I should say Halloween display things are all torn asunder as though mangled bodies from the Great War are on display in the bookshop.
When you say she's in the top window, the same top window, the ghost top window?
Yeah.
Same pose, or?
Oh, no, pose? Not same pose. More like this is the hands and the face are like towards the window, and it looks as though her body is being pulled back.
So he sees that and is like just sort of like his pulse quickening for a moment as he sees that.
You blink, and then it's a blank canvas.
Oh, what the hell? He's going to turn. He's going to move more quickly. He's going to move back toward the entrance. Unless is Nev up front? Still?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's still there going through everything.
Unless there's something that's I think you've got a very serious issue with one of the paintings back there.
Oh,
the one on the near wall. Yeah. You know, and it's like he's comfortable sharing these things with her because they've known each other since they were kids. So he'll just sort of lean in and say, "I was doing something, was playing with my head."
Are you certain that wasn't one of the meat pies?
It could be that. Probably not though. I think that feels different. That was playing with me, and it's She'll report it. Is that supposed to be blank?
Oh, there's a few blank canvases back there. They're
Aye.
just spares.
We'll just say, be careful going back there, especially around that one. Because, we're just going to say there's a... I think that whole room it's a lot of... It's a lot.
The boss told me it was a lot. That's why I'm not going back there.
Good plan. Listen, I probably should get back over there, but I'll see you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he will, if she permits it, he'll do the quick lean in and kiss on the cheek, if appropriate.
Yeah.
And he will, and then he will just sort of head out, and just sort of, not quite with the spring in his step that he had heading over. He will head back across to the bookstore.
Now I want to come back to earlier in the store. Now that like Julian's gone, and all of a sudden there's this downpour, and the phone calls ended. What I want to know what's being conversed and what all of you are doing, considering you have this now incredibly strange and dangerous book. Questions about Evie's family, whether she's going to come into money or not. And the violent sudden change in the weather just as Julian leaves.
I think Phineas's main concern is trying to discern the actual full value of the book.
Difficult, even for you. You're guessing as you flip through it yourself and your trade that to the right collector, this could be worth a lot. But it's finding the right owner for the book. Because for most folks, like, especially in this day and age, the squidge factor of it being, both apparently salacious and bound in human skin is sort of a no-go in most circles. But in the right circles, that's a plus. So it's finding the right clientele for this. And with the right clientele, this could buy a new van. But of course, I'm interested to see how quickly Mr. Dorn is going to try and read this.
Oh man. Well, just everybody, Scotland Yard. It's not for me. That's great.
This was.
Today it's not me, and I think that's a blessing, So, Matthias, just everybody's busy. I just take a little peek at the index here, see what we got there. Puts on gloves. He is respectful of the cured flesh. A little peek here won't hurt anybody.
I mean, Phineas has a rule. You can read any book in the collection as long as it stays in good sellable condition.
Oh, absolutely. Things have to be sellable.
And as long as you accept the consequences of your own actions, like, without trying to pin it on him.
That's every day. I will not pin the consequence of my actions where I work. I will try to pin them elsewhere.
So, are you just kind of flipping through, or are you actually going to start reading?
Now, I want to look at if there's an index,
index,
or a table of contents.
There is none.
Okay, well, you know what? Fuck it, we ball. Let's. Well, Julian, it's always been a bit soft anyway.
Well, if anything bad happens to you, that just makes the value of it go up even more. So,
yes, the thing that finally got Matthias Dorn. You'll have to put that on the cover somewhere.
Well, it is going to have to compete with the other ones, so it's good. I guess good luck to it.
Something terrible happens to you, I'll be sure to make a lovely label for the book.
Yes, see, yes. Thank you. And that
You're
will
welcome,
be my
darling.
and that will be my legacy.
Precisely.
I might look into springing for a plaque.
But do tell me if you find anything interesting.
Well, absolutely. And then we begin to read.
As you begin to read, there is a giant thunderclap outside.
Nice.
Oh, you shut up.
Evie is going to go take a look at the weather while Matthias is starting to read.
It is like visibility with the downpour of rain. This is not something that you have normally seen, especially here in London.
Yeah, did it look like rain earlier? I mean, it's London, but
No.
like, did it look like rain earlier?
It was actually pleasant.
Yeah, okay. Does this
And
strike her as,
It's February. If there was going to be anything, it would be colder out and it would be snowing.
right? Does this strike her as like supernaturally odd that this is happening?
This is in the weird fucko-meter, like in the red.
Okay. Yeah, she's got a pretty good handle on the weird fuckometer, so
Yeah, no, this is unseasonably strange. And then like Julian, who you know is kind of have like a portent of things, kind of just follows that man.
mhm.
For him to leave and all of like 3 breaths later, like phone call weather change after accepting that book,
Mhm.
something weird's going.
She'll check to make sure that all of the little carvings in the baseboard that seem to be protective of the store in some fashion seem to be also intact.
You start looking around and then you start getting this strange smell.
Okay. Where's the smell coming from? Can I tell?
You're following the smell?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You follow the smell, move through this labyrinth of books.
It's not my pants, right?
Is
No.
Evie going? Is Evie going out of sight right now?
Yes,
Right.
Evie is going out of sight.
I'm gonna sneak one of those candies then.
He's going to be furious tomorrow.
There's like 20 of them. You're not gonna miss one. Actually, you know what she's gonna she's gonna cut one and then put the other halves in the empty spot.
Even worse.
It looks like
furious tomorrow when she well, she can be furious tonight when she gives
Yeah.
this to her paramour and one of the chocolates is partially eaten.
But yeah, no, Lillian, like, I've seen your sheet. You can easily just like dab like the coconut cluster,
Mhm.
cut that thing in half with the knife that you always carry on you,
Mhm.
put that back, and then like just slip it into your mouth at your leisure.
Mhm.
But
Evie's gonna think Kenneth did it.
Yeah, probably, actually, yes, that's probably true. Lillian's suspect number 2.
yeah, but the first suspect was Kenneth. And Evie, as you're following your nose, you end up going into the upstairs.
You're gonna send me up to the damn ghost window.
Yeah, you end up right underneath the ghost window. And
Right?
there's a room that's normally there,
Uh-huh.
right under the windowsill, on the baseboard. It's smoldering, but it doesn't smell like burning metal. Doesn't smell like burning wood. It smells like burning flesh.
Oh, of course it does.
And just as you inspect this further, this window that you've never been able to get open flies open.
Like,
Torrential rain coming in, pelting, pummeling you. And the rain quickly goes from rain to hail. thick, heavy, pelting hail. And then as soon as you look up, the window's closed.
Like it closes before she can even get over there to close it?
Yeah.
Like it slammed shut or like it was never open?
Like it's slammed shut.
Interesting. Is the rune that was burning still there?
There's no room anymore. It is just a burn mark.
Okay. I think the war of curiosity against can she see, like right now, if I look through the ghost window, does it look normal? Like is it showing Fleet Street outside?
You can barely see out it. Like visibility is now like with everything with the hail and the rain, it's like maybe 10 feet.
So it's hard to tell, basically.
It's very hard to tell. But as you're turning away, you see that feminine figure out of the corner of your eye, and you hear barely above the hail your mother's voice saying your name.
There is nothing that will get her to stop faster and turn around and go back to the window than the sound of her mother calling her name. Can she see a figure out there?
You search, you look down, and then as you're about to give up, you look straight across, and your eyes go through the windows to the art gallery.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a feminine outline, more distinct this time, more akin to your mother's, and your father's outline behind her.
Temptation to just crawl through the damn window is very high.
I'm not going to stop.
Yeah, I know you're not gonna stop me. I think I think she would go. Actually, no, she would not leave the window. She's going to maintain line of sight. But she's going to shout down toward the lower floor, and she'll say, "Use some assistance with something. Is anybody free? And does anybody have a rope?"
That is an odd thing for Phineas, you and Lillian to hear. Funnily enough, Matthias is nowhere to be seen.
Oh!
I mean, Matthias is doing valuable work right now. Matthias cannot be bothered with the.
Immediately disappearing from the counter. Love it.
Mm-hmm. It's your store.
Phineas goes from looking concerned to just like there's this long suffering, like tired look. Like
I'm not the help.
And you say you're not the help. Kenneth walks in.
He sort of is looking around. Is Miss Evie around here somewhere? Where'd she go?
yes, she's gone upstairs. Could you go lend her a hand, please? She just called for help. She also needs rope.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Rope. Okay. And,
How'd it go with the movie?
oh, it's hopefully going to be fine. They've got there's and he'll just sort of, as he's just sort of heading toward, where do we keep the rope? Is it downstairs in that meat locker?
It's in the basement.
Yeah,
It's in the basement.
Yay!
So
It's
he'll be like,
hanging above the meat locker.
don't. You just sort of turn to the two people that he sees in front of him. It's like, you might not want to let her go through the get close to to the window up there. Saw a couple of things from across the street. Might be a problem. Maybe. Sort of a vision, a little bit. Maybe.
Went that badly then, did it? Okay.
Well, I saw the lady silhouette. That silhouette. It's got had a fella behind her for the first time, and then there was they got a new art collection in there. I took a wee look, and there was for a moment maybe just an image of Miss Evie up against. Pressed up, screaming against the window. For just a moment, probably might not be anything, but
Could you go help her,
just-
please?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna go see if I can find some rope, and he's gonna just kind of head down. Probably not hurrying as much as he should. But
You're hurrying more than the rest of us are.
If
he were a good
You're
person,
taking
he'd
too
be.
long.
If he were a good person, he'd be hurrying a lot. But
You're a better person
he's-
than two people at the counter just looking at you. Like,
yeah,
Like
he's like,
as
yeah, probably should do something. So he's gonna go down to find
as
some rope.
you're walking down the stairs, let's cut to Mr. Dorn, and then we'll go to break.
Hey, where am I?
That
Uh-oh.
that is an excellent question, Mr. Dorn.
I love it.
You are engrossed in your reading, very much so. In hearing what is essentially a confession of a very disturbed man being interviewed by this French noble, and it's so terribly engrossing, and you don't notice at first the lighting change in the room. As you're just standing there, you haven't taken a seat, you're just standing reading,
Fascinating.
and the lighting changes to more candlelit, and then it starts to feel a little bit damp
Ooh, dim the
where you are,
Ooh, dim the damn lights.
and you look up. For the first moment, you appear to be underground.
Well, fuck.
The room is lit by candles, very much different deep reds and orange hues. You can't tell if those are screams of pain or of pleasure off in the distance. And then it feels as though your entire world is shaking. And that's where we'll cut to break.
Oh, shit.
Yay! We'll be back shortly. I've got an interview I'm going to put on, and we will see you in a little bit. Find out what the heck is happening. See you shortly. Welcome to the break. I am here with Brian. Hello.
Hello, Jim. How you doing?
I am doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something.
I rarely know what I'm doing either.
Tell me about it. But today, we're doing a thing. We're going to breach a very dangerous topic now. We're going to talk about the Amber Diceless role-playing game.
I mean, I pretty much just walk around talking about the Amber Diceless role-playing game anyway. So
Yes.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to also do it here. Thank you.
Excellent. This folks, this may take a while. We'll see what we can do.
I'll do my best to keep it short.
It's not just him. You'll
Right,
see.
no.
You'll see. But that is a game that I have run on this channel. I did a mini campaign. So folks may recognize it if you've watched this channel for a while. Folks may recognize it from Life. But in case folks may not know what it is we're talking about, tell us, what is the Amber Diceless role-playing game?
As the title implies, it is based on the Amber novels that were written by Roger Zelazny, largely in the 70s and 80s. And the game itself was published in 1991 by Eric Wujcik. And there's a interesting story about that I'm not going to go into, but feel free to go to the Wikipedia page for the Amber Diceless game because it's got a lot of great information. But the game itself, also, it's diceless. It's right there in the title. And it was, if not the first diceless game, easily one of the first diceless games. And the reason he decided to make it diceless was because the way that the stories happen in the books, usually what you would have is you'd have one person that was much better at sword fighting than another person, but then the person that was worse at sword fighting might be stronger than the other person. So if they were in some sort of conflict, the stronger person would try to fix it so that they were wrestling, but the sword fighting person would definitely try to keep it that way. So in a fair fight, if you have a higher score than the other person does, then you win. That's it. And then if anything else comes up at you, the game master will usually have an idea of, for example, NPCs or adversaries or anything like that, where they stand on certain levels and how likely you are to be able to defeat them. Honestly, that's mostly it. The rest of the rules are about how to do the different powers in the books, which is one of my favorite things, because the point of the novels is that you've got this group of people that are able to travel from world to world, and what world to world means in this case is sort of alternate realities.
Yeah.
So our Earth is just one of those, and then anything that you can imagine, you can travel to, and then so that makes it a lot of fun as a player and a huge challenge as a game master. Because if a player comes up to you and says, I'm going to go to a place where the trees are pink and everyone worships me, I'm like, okay, great. Now I have to figure out that quickly and do that. So it's also really good for improvisation. And other than that, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of the other stuff. You can read about it. Oh, and I will say, the Amber Diceless game is out of print, but you can still find copies of it in a bunch of places. You can still technically get PDFs at DriveThruRPG, and Wright Publishing published Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, which uses the same system.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for it, you can get it. You can get the same system, and it's a really similar setting. Over on those, and I've run and played both, and I like them a lot.
Yeah, I ran a one shot of Lords of Gossamer and Shadow on this channel, and that folks may see we did a one shot of that.
Yep, that was a lot of fun.
And I did find certain things different. I think that I like the broader mandate that Amber gives as far as the ability for PCs to go anywhere. There are more specific channels you have to use.
Right.
In Lords of Gossamer and Shadow. I have a theory about that I won't go into right now. This entire conversation is going to be, I won't go into this right now, but I'll talk about this.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it short.
There's so much. There's a lot. I'm going to say here, just as for context, folks, you were talking about being a good game for improvisation. That is basically the game that taught me how to improvise as a GM.
Me too. 100%.
It's the first running that game. That's the first game I ran that made me actually a better GM.
Yeah.
And
one other thing that I really like, if you can get your hands on the original book, and again, DriveThruRPG has it, the game master advice in that book is not, most of it is not specific to running Amber. It's just good game master advice. So
True.
every now and then, what I'll do is I'll go get my Amber book before I run a game, and I'll read through it just to remind myself and give myself like kind of to energize myself for no matter what I'm running.
I need to go back actually and reread some of that just to see how well some of it's held up, because I don't know right now as of this conversation, because I haven't read it in quite a while. But I imagine that there are a lot of things, there are a lot of games that came about later that had a lot of formative. Their designers had formative Amber experiences as well, and so that kind of turned into other games. You've heard of Fate, haven't you? That was one of them.
Yep. That's why Fate exists.
Yeah. So it's just I think really cool. Also, as a side note, also as folks may not be aware, we actually met while you were running Amber.
Yeah, we would not be having this conversation, and I wouldn't have run or played any of the games on Jim's channel that I did, if not for the Amber Diceless game, because I was running it, and as I recall, a friend of yours saw us doing that and came to get you.
Yeah.
So
That was the funny part, because he was in the Amber campaign I was running back home.
Gotcha.
And so and he just brought me up and was like, "Do you know what they're doing? Do you know what this is?" Said, "No, what is it? This is Amber." Like, really? And it was neat. I only caught the tail end of that game, but
I think we were. That was at Dragon Con one year, right?
Yeah, 1 year Dragon Con. But that is the thing. It's I guess that. What else? What do you think it is about this game that drives us to such distraction? This game from the 1990s.
I know. Well, first off, in so many ways, it was ahead of its time. I think it was just okay. I think it was the thing we were talking about before, where you can, as a player, you can literally do anything you can imagine. Your character is able to do so many things. And if you don't have to have read the Amber novels, but I think it helps. But I've run games for people that never read them and still haven't read them and still got into the setting. So I think part of it is that setting, and you've got that family bond instantly. You're already related to some of the people, probably most of the other player characters, which to me kind of helps.
That's true. There is this basically these families at either end of the universe, essentially, if you want to think of it that way, either end of the multiverse, who are sort of in this thing that later I think inspired Game of Thrones. But
you may be right.
So it's like, how do you normally introduce somebody? Let's say they've never read any of the books. They're not familiar with the game. How do you normally introduce someone?
I got to the point where I actually just wrote up a quick, and believe it or not, you can write up a quick summary of the setting. I don't go into the history too much of things that happened, except for there's a couple of points where it's important, but mostly I encourage them to play someone that isn't particularly familiar with what's happening in the city of Amber, which is at the center of everything. But I do give them information on what the different powers are, how they work, and how they interact with each other. And then from that point, if they're not familiar with it at all, I literally start with like what the powers are and the general idea of the setting, the whole multiverse thing. And I can fit that on one page, and then I send that to them. And then if they have any questions, we talk it back and forth. So that's usually how I get people started.
Cool. Yeah, it's like I remember that back when I was running it more regularly, I used to do this thing where it was just like, okay, what kind of character would you like to play from what genre?
That's good too. That's really good.
I just sort of I just sort of throw them in there. I try to be a little more. I try to help the players be a little more informed about it nowadays. I think the last time I ran it on this channel, we did this kind of more, everyone participated in a little bit of world building to create a new version of Amber.
I remember that. Yeah. I thought that was a good idea.
I think I felt like that helped just as far as giving players a little more investment as far as it goes. Because I will say the one thing that I think that Lords of Gossamer and Shadow does have over the Amber Diceless RPG is that it does decentralize the power.
And that's helpful in a lot of ways.
You don't have to be a member of one of these families
Nope.
to be able to do whatever you need.
Yeah, you can just be a person with special powers, and you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about everybody being your cousin. Yeah, which is depending on how you want to play it. And I've done it both ways and had fun. But yeah, you're right. I like a lot of the stuff about the Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, and the way they, like you said, the way they decentralized it. I like the way that they have split the poles. Because it's sort of the same, because in the Amber setting, it's sort of breaks down into order and chaos.
Yeah.
And Lords of Gossamer and Shadow kind of does the same thing, but the focus on each one is a little different, which I actually enjoy. I like it that it gives each player a way to personalize that power a little more, which I like.
Yeah, definitely. There are so many things we could talk about here. We may someday in the future come back and do a part 2. I don't know. We'll see.
I won't. I mean, I'm up for it. So
yeah, but because there's just so much. There's too much. As I said. So if this conversation has felt like a fire hose to you, I'm sorry. That is, alas, the nature of this particular thing with us.
But unfortunately, I regret to inform you that we have barely scratched the surface.
We have. There's too much. So hopefully this is
Maybe we'll do a part 2. I like that idea.
Maybe. Hopefully this has been the least bit intelligible. I recommend checking it out. It's not it wasn't necessarily the be all end all, as there have been other games since then that I have played that have also affected how I play and run games in kind of fundamental ways. And things have evolved since then in the way that RPGs are written and our understanding of them. And so it's important, I think, also when reading it to understand that this book does come from the previous century. But there's just so much that I think just fundamentally is different from what was the case at the time, which was, your D&D, your Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
The Champions, that kind of thing. So it's just, for me, it was mind blowing.
Same.
Well, folks, we will perhaps come back to this another time. But I'm going to just conclude this by asking you if folks want to find you online, where should they go?
I'm Vaclam at most of the things. That's VAKLAM, or Malcav backwards for my fellow 90s gamers. Mm-hmm. I also am doing a podcast these days with my friend Quinn Murphy. Just look for Infectious Enthusiasm at all of your podcast places. And it is largely Pathfinder 2nd Edition based. We talk about things we like about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and then we compare them to other games. One of which actually at one point was Amber Diceless. So we've got a lot of stuff in there that we basically just want to make sure everybody knows about.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to toss things over to my future self. So we will see you folks all of a sudden.
Thanks a lot.
We have returned. I'm sure everything will be fine.
That I love the enthusiasm, Jim. I love the hopefulness. Keep that energy. But I think we left off with Mr. Dorn
Yes.
and him hearing things, seeing strange things, seeing strange sights, still having the book.
I am definitely fine. Perfectly fine.
Absolutely fine. And over the sounds of pleasure or pain, still not discernible, you begin to hear both the ticking of gears and the faint sound of a music box. And just as you begin to discern what the song is of the music box, it's just on the tip of your tongue. You look out to see yourself tiny. And these vast, somewhat darkened, maybe humanoid shapes moving towards you. Your hand instinctively closes the book and you're back in the shop.
Oh. That's enough of that for one night.
Phineas, literally, you just hear him off in the shop. Just like him speaking to the air.
Yeah, that's just. I'm not concerned. That's Matthias.
Is it good?
Oh, gave me tunnel vision.
Well, write it down before you forget, so we can add that to the description.
Yes, I'll definitely start writing that down. Where's Evie?
They're all upstairs.
Oh. Right, well, told me to tell her. I guess I'll meet her upstairs.
So before we cut to Matthias going upstairs, let's cut to Kenneth going downstairs.
Right? I'm sure everything's going to be fine.
You hear the weather outside getting even more frightful. And I take it from the conversation you had previous with your paramour that you may have seen a little film called Nosferatu.
Yeah. I think she was more enthusiastic about that one because that, again, was not... well, we didn't know talkies were coming, we imagined. But... and actually, I can't remember the timing. We might have seen it separately, depending on when it happened. We probably saw it separately. But yeah.
You reach your hand out to the rope, but you notice out of the corner of your eye the shadow that you're casting doesn't look quite like yours. It has a more Orlockian tinge to it.
So Kenneth is going to take a second as, like, when he sees that, he's going to pull his hand back and just be like, then put his hand forward again.
And as you put your hand forward, again, it has that same cast.
So he's going to take a moment. He's going to do that thing. He's like forward, back. It's like
it's almost comical at this point.
That's cool.
Yes,
that's interesting. And so he's just going to hold the hand slowly withdrawing and try to quickly reach forward with the other hand and grab the rope.
As you try and reach forward with the other hand to grab the rope, it's as though your shadow itself detaches from you, grabs the rope, and then puts it into the proper hand.
Thanks. He's going to slowly start. I've got the rope. That's it. He's going to slowly start backing out of the room.
And the audience who see this is this comedy where now the shadow is where it should be, and but it still has that Orlockian sort of cast to it, as Kenneth is slowly backing up with the rope. So this will be incredibly interesting, as the first person upstairs to try and meet with Evie is Dorn, Mr. Dorn. You open the door to upstairs. Again, it's a vast sort of like storage office space. You can smell the damp. Like the wetness of outside is somehow inside, and there's this. Again, you've been to some very strange and questionable places, and so you know the smell of burning flesh. That sort of like mixture of like freshly turned earth, heavy rain, a little bit of ozone, a little bit of burnt flesh is all hanging about in this melange in this space. And aside from the hail on the roof, you don't hear anything.
Evie is still in the room, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just confirming.
Like, now you're gone. Pop.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure. I mean, she has plans to go through the window, but she hasn't done it yet. She would probably have her back facing you. She is continuing to stare out the window.
Well, Matthias, does it look like she's doing a ritual? Or she just got her back turned to me?
Back turned, the burnt flesh smell definitely coming from close to where she's standing, if not from her. At that window that has some peculiarities about it. You can see that she is damp. The floor around her is damp. There's some hailstones there. That window, for a fact, does not open.
Evie, am I interrupting something?
She does not turn to face you, importantly. She's, no, I need some help. Did you bring a rope? I asked for a rope. Please tell me you brought a rope.
I don't. Nobody asked me about it. Nobody told me about a rope. I don't have any rope.
Did you not hear me shout?
No.
I asked for a rope. Where were you?
Don't worry. Well, I'll tell you later, because you're in the middle of something now.
Okay. Well, I need a rope. She's like pointing toward the window. It's like I can see my mother on the other side of the street, and the window is open. And well, it's not open right now, but it was open a few seconds ago. And I am going to go through this window.
That sounds like a person on the Thames. You know that, right? I'm just gonna go through the window. You know how you sound, right? Right now.
Well, I'm not doing it to try to hurt myself. That's why I want the rope.
This is not getting any better. I want to go through the window with a rope.
Well, my mother has been missing for 6 years, and I am looking at her right now.
I don't see anything through the window, right? Like,
no, she's blocking the window.
Right. Okay. Just,
Come look. Come look.
if I see something different, we're leaving.
Come look.
I will come if
You
possible.
come forward to look just as Kenneth reaches the top of the stairs. And as now the two of you are looking through the window, lightning flashes. As Kenneth reaches the top of the stairs, what you see through the window is not the gallery. It's not the street. You are overlooking a vast and terrible gray labyrinth that you are overlooking. You can hear over the wind and the rain and the hail the sounds of lamentation and the dragging of chains. Just as Kenneth, your foot hits that one particular squeaky board as your foot finally crests the stairs. And as you hear that squeak, that image that the two of you see goes away, and now all that you see is the torrential downpour that obscures everything that you can see. Can't see further from here than 10 feet. It's just downpour.
When we saw the labyrinth, could I still see my mother and my father in there?
No.
Oh. Shit.
I just want to clarify that when I see them and there's a flash of lightning at that moment,
Yeah.
so it's like a silhouette of exactly the thing that I saw from across the street, a guy standing behind a woman. And I think that might be Evie, and so I like one hand has the rope over his shoulder, the other hand I'm pulling out the razor. and I'm just going to step forward for a moment and just be like, Miss Evie, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Did you bring a rope?
and it's, and then I assume for a second I realize who the other person is.
Yeah.
And
I just say, you and your damn rope.
I just quietly flip the razor closed again and shove it back in my pocket. And just be like, I've got it, but you might not want to be that close to the window right now.
No, I need Evie's gonna try to pull the window open.
Budge.
It doesn't budge.
Yeah.
I think when she tries to pull the window open and it doesn't budge, Kenneth and Matthias are treated to the loudest, most sailor-ish curses coming from Evie, who is normally very prim and decorous. And this is just like profanity you didn't even know that she knew is coming out of her mouth right now. And she, to the point where after like tugging on this window several times and the window not opening, she like stomps her foot like a child.
While she's wailing and while she's like yelling and cussing, like Matthias looks over at Karen like, this is the most attractive she's ever been.
And Kenneth kind of slowly nods his head because in his head it's like, for saying, oh, sounds like Nev.
Or more the audience, somewhat for Evie. You are tugging on this with all of your might, yes?
Yes.
You don't notice that you cut your finger.
Oh, no.
No, she would not.
And I'm not certain that these two, with all of your cussing and everything, would notice that as you're dripping blood on the floor,
Oh boy.
that the blood is being drawn back up to where that burn mark is under the window.
Yeah.
And that it's setting itself in the room. And as you stomp your foot, the window budges just a hair.
Okay.
Like enough to where you can hear the outside rain and you can feel the wind coming from beneath the window.
Is it enough that she can, like, is it just enough that she can like hear things, but like not enough that she could actually like physically get part of her body through it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I would say to give you a scale, this we all know tape measure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say to you how much it has budged is literally an inch.
Okay. So enough to get like a finger or two under it, but
Yeah.
like,
Not enough to put yourself under it.
all right, that's fine. She's gonna put her fingers under it. And can I think what she's trying to get her hand on like the other side of the window and see if it feels any different on the other side outside of just like the weather.
At first, it doesn't. And then it doesn't feel like it's raining anymore, but you can hear it. And
But
then
my
you
hand's
feel
not
the
wet.
cut on your finger. And you feel as though something is sucking the blood from your fingertip.
Oh shit. Yeah, she will pull her finger back at that.
You pull it back. As you pull it back, you feel this suction from underneath the window as it takes significantly more of your strength to pull your hand free.
Mm-hmm. Did the gentleman notice that she's doing this, by the way?
Oh, yes.
You know,
But whether or not they choose to intervene after this tirade.
I don't know about Kenneth, but like there's like this moment of like enrapture, like what wow, just like she's, because it's like this is a complete break from like probably what Evie has been the past however long we've worked together. It's like just
Definitely the most unhinged you've seen her.
it's like, you know, I like unhinged Evie. This is great. Like,
Let her cook.
yeah. It's like
I'm just picturing Lillian like if she was actually there in the background with the entire thing of sweets just going.
You really want to do that? There's sure that's safe because a little bit ago there was a thing. There was a thing.
And as you say thing, that's when her hands come free.
And she's like holding one hand up, like looking at it, because now I think it's very obvious that there's like blood on her hand.
Yeah.
Or there was.
There is blood on your hand, but the wound is closed.
Interesting.
Evie, you're all right there.
Yeah, I'm fine. There's definitely something on the other side of this that is not the weather.
Capital work. I love it.
She is gonna like, she stuck a hand under it. She's gonna try to get down and get it on like eyesight level with it. to see if she can see anything now that she's got the window open.
You look.
You should probably know there's been a supernatural portent.
That can wait just 1 second.
About you specifically?
All the days of Pope Sens have portents.
Fine, here's your rope.
Through the window.
He'll sort of toss the rope down.
And as you look through, all of a sudden, you see your mother's eyes absolutely cold and bloodshot. And there's an audible scream that radiates from underneath the window. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
The one thing I would like to add is as soon as she sees that and the scream starts, the two gentlemen can hear her shouting, "Mother."
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't fun anymore.
Is that the same scream that I heard from across the street?
Yes.
That's what I thought. All right. Masterful.
It's all going up. It's going great upstairs. Upstairs.
Yeah.
Going great upstairs.
Everything's fine.
Let the two people who should be the least trusted to read anything be in the weirdness.
That's follow your passions, and you know what, record that.
Hey, just imagine, can they hear the scream downstairs?
That will be the first thing that they've heard that is amiss.
Yep.
And it won't be the scream. It will be Evie yelling "mother."
Oh my God.
That's not going to make us come there.
No, Phineas is going upstairs. Phineas will be going up.
Oh, fine.
Oh no, you're leaving Lillian with all the chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Phineas doesn't care about the damn chocolate.
Evie is now less likely to care about the chocolate, assuming she survives the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, excellent. All right.
Lillian
Well,
just has an idea right now that she's really engrossed in. That could, involves Evie,
Ooh.
but we'll save this until whatever happens.
But I mean, I think we've all learned a valuable lesson tonight. Windows is evil.
Yeah.
At least one of them is.
Windows are fine.
You know what? On the
Behind windows is evil.
You know what? On the bright side, the window just might be one that, like, you put your hand near it. It, like, you have a paper cut. It's like it hurts. You put it by the window. It doesn't hurt anymore.
It's a healing window.
The healing window. You just gotta just don't look out of the window. Just put feet. Just offer the wound to it, and then it'll close. Just don't look through the window.
Yeah. It's fine. Everything's fine. Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead then and do our outros as we're now launching things into a terrifying space, which is of course glorious.
Profitable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The book is great. The book is fire. The book will get us, multiple times. And you know what? It might come back to us, and we can sell it again if that's the way it works.
Yeah. Self-perpetuating, really.
It'll just keep coming back to Matthias, and then we just sell it. It just
Free money glitch.
We keep finding its way back.
We'll just keep selling it. We'll keep making money. It'll be great.
The cat came back the very next.
Oh no. Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you and plug anything you like and give any final thoughts you have about this session. And we will start, as we're going reverse order, with our keeper, Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on Blue Sky and over at Start Playing Games. Currently underway is a 40K campaign, which is getting to some really interesting parts. There are 3 seats open for that. I currently have a few things in the works now. I should be putting out shortly a advertisement for Urban Shadows. That will be on Sunday afternoons. Then a two things up for Saturday afternoons. Both of them will be like an every other week thing. One will be another 40K offering, and on the opposite side of that will be an exalted offering. So keep your eyes peeled for those going forward. And I absolutely adore all of you. Thank you for going with me on this incredibly crazy journey. And I look forward to the trouble that you all get into.
Me too, me too. All right, and now we'll head over to Lynn.
Hey everyone, I'm Lynn. Gremlin art pretty much everywhere on the socials. You can find my art, and you can find me here on Saturday. Find me here, and then on Modern DM for Scion vs. New Gods on Saturdays, and the Shadow Scar on on Tuesdays as well. We're starting a new campaign. It's should be very interesting, and some stuff coming up. But yeah, I love people immediately getting very curious, and it just getting just right off the bat. We have like a door that wants to eat, and then like screaming, and poor Kenneth, who just wanted to go on a date, and it's just like just.
I know.
It's part
all I wanted.
So like it's creepy pain. You just wanted to come here and like rest, and then just like this shit is happening. It's like,
I know. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Everything's an emergency, basically.
Yeah.
Awesome. And now we'll head over to Danielle.
Dale, you can find me on Blue Sky and on Instagram. I don't do a lot of stream games lately, but if you're interested in cosplay sorts of things, you can find all my cosplay work and photography in both those places. I had a blast tonight. I think this group gelled really fast, which I really like. I think the shop chemistry is there already. And that makes me very excited for where things are going to go going forward. So very, very pumped to continue.
Yay! Me too. And now we'll head over to Hollow.
Hey, I'm Hollow. You can find me, I guess, here. I'm not really doing anything else, so you should fix that. You, the viewers, if you have things, put me in them. I had a blast tonight. I really had a lot of fun, especially with with Danielle as Evie, because we are the resident reading the things that people should fucking not, or doing the things that people should fucking not. So like
We will push all the red buttons.
Yeah, so I had fun with that. There's usually only one of those in the group. We have two. So it was great.
Yep. There's so much. I just love the idea that just basically the two of you are just going to be just the chaos generators, and the other two folks are going to just sort of be hanging back, slowly responding, and I'm going to have to be dashing back and forth between everything. It's a delightful dynamic. This is going to be a lot of fun. And finally, over to Celeste.
Hi, I'm Celeste. I don't really do a whole lot online much these days. I'm open to invitations. If anybody needs a body, I can be a body. Hopefully a living one, but I mean, I don't know. Looking at this blizzard outside, we'll see.
Don't open any windows.
I can be found on Blue Sky. There's not much there at the moment. I'm still working on that. I'm still making decisions about how I want to purport myself there. Don't follow me on X. If you really like, even if you find me, just don't bother. It's going to be going down eventually. And like, it's better that period of my life be forgotten, probably. But other than that, come back here and have fun, and also join Pope's 40K game. You should always be at a table with this man. Like, if you have the opportunity, do it. Like, he's a good time, okay? Like, also, I'm at one of the 40K games, so if you like me, please like me. Come hang out. Okay, I'm done being awkward now. Bye.
But agreed. Agreed. Definitely go check the games out, and especially if Celeste is in them, because I think it's guaranteed to be a fun time. As for me, who the hell am I? Jim. I'm Jim. Usually, I am other doc on all the things. You can find me at Other Doc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. Wherever I'm not Other Doc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. Down below, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things. Currently, this is the only thing that I have solidly planned between this week and next week. So next week, more of this as we continue to watch things spiral out of control. I may be doing video games and what have you in the meantime. We shall see. But that's all I got at the moment for any of that. In just a moment, I'm going to go send a raid over to, I think we're going to send a raid over to the Lollygaggers. They're having a session 0 for a Magnus Archives game, as if we want to continue the Eldritch Horror. So we'll go over there and say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, just please remember, as always, that you're unique, and that's wonderful because variety is very important. You matter. Take care of yourselves, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.